Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. It's Gordon. It's morning. It's Gordon in the morning, and I am glad to be here with you for this Tactical Tuesday, where we're talking about something that separates overwhelmed creators from empowered professionals. It separates the burnt out business owners from confident leaders. Not talent, not technology, not even time. No, what separates them is systems. Today, we're talking about how to stop reinventing the wheel every day and start designing systems that multiply your time, energy, and results. Because you can't scale chaos, but you can scale structure. So let's start with our quote for the day. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. That comes from John Maxwell, one of the great minds in leadership, and someone who's taught thousands of leaders how to turn vision into routine. And what's wonderful about this quote is that it doesn't focus on goals, it focuses on habits, daily actions, repeatable processes. Because let's be honest, most of us know what to do, but knowing isn't the problem. Repeating is. Consistency. You don't rise to the level of your intentions, you rise or fall to the level of your systems. So if you're tired of starting from scratch and forgetting steps or wasting energy on the same decisions over and over again, today is the day. Let's build better systems. So, the big idea for today is that it's a system. A system is simply a smart way of saying, this works, let's not reinvent it every time. Systems save you time, they reduce stress. Systems allow you to delegate, automate, and elevate. If you don't have systems, you are trapped in one of two places. One is overwhelm because you're holding everything in your head, or two, stagnation because you're reacting instead of planning. And systems don't have to be complex, they just have to be repeatable. A checklist is a system. A template is a system. A recurring task in your calendar is a system. What matters is that it's off your brain and into a rhythm. So, before we get tactical, let me ask you, where in your life or business do you feel that you're always starting from zero? Say something in the comments and let me know. Let's identify the chaos so we can systematize the calm. And let's look at a few systems in action, examples, and how they make success repeatable. Taylor Swift, touring like a machine, performing like a human being. Say what you will about her music, but Taylor Swift is one of the most systematized artists in the game. Her team runs multi month, multi million dollar tours with the precision of a logistics company. Why? Because her creative brilliance is supported by operations brilliance. She rehearses, she routinizes, she trusts the process, and then she shows up fully. You don't get to play 44 songs a night in a different city every night unless you've built rock solid systems around everything else. That's not a sellout, that's leveling up. Henry Ford, scaling by systems. We cannot talk about systems without talking about Henry, the original systems guy. Now, before Ford, cars were luxury toys, but after his assembly line system, they became accessible. He didn't just make cars faster, he made teams work better. The factory didn't rely on genius, it relied on repeatability. Now, I'm not saying build an assembly line for your art or whatever you're creating, but if you're writing, recording, creating, delivering services without a process, you are probably leaving time and money on the table. Yeah. What about you? Think about back to a time when you had a checklist for, I don't know, your podcast, or you used a template for your intake of clients, or you batch recorded things instead of scrambling, or you created a recurring task in your calendar. It feels good, doesn't it? That's what we're aiming for. Not the rigidity, and not the perfection, but just that repeatability of excellence. So here are three tactical ways that you can build systems to support your energy, simplify your workflow, and multiply your results. Systematize what you already do. Look at your most often repeated tasks, things like publishing your content or onboarding clients or sending follow-ups, launching offers, and then ask, what's the exact process here? If you can write it down, you can standardize it. And if you can standardize it, you can systematize it. So create a checklist or a template, a simple standard operating procedure, an SOP, a folder system. Now you don't have to remember how every time, you just run the system. Design your week like an operating rhythm. Systems aren't just for tasks, they're also for how you handle your time. When do you plan? When do you create? When do you meet with your clients? When do you rest? So instead of reacting to the calendar, you start controlling it. Maybe you make Tuesday your production day. You block Friday mornings out for CEO time. Batch recording every second Wednesday. You'll reclaim energy just by knowing what kind of a day it is. And use technology to automate the repetitive. Automation isn't cold, it is kind to your future self. Tools like Acuity Scheduling, which I use, or Calendly, one of those calendar planners, or Zapier for moving data, Trello, Asana, or Notion for your task flow, email sequences for onboarding. You don't need 20 tools, but even just one good automation can give you hours back each month. And the goal isn't to eliminate people. No, it's to elevate your impact by reducing repetition and giving you more time to focus on your zone of genius, the thing that really moves the needle for you. Now, hey, if Gordon in the Morning is helping you build momentum and think strategically and act with purpose, help me systematize this show's growth. Share the episode, post about it, recommend it to someone who's running themselves ragged trying to do everything manually. And please, of course, subscribe and turn on the notifications, subscribe on Substack, and show up with us each morning, because this is part of your system now. So let's lock it in with today's affirmation. I design systems that support my growth, protect my energy, and multiply my results. Say that again, write it down, put it where you'll see it, and do it. Repeat it over the day. I design systems that support my growth, protect my energy, and multiply my results. Because when you stop trying to do everything from scratch, you start focusing on what only you can do. And that is where your genius lives. So here is your Tactical Tuesday challenge for today. What is one repeatable task that you could turn into a simple system by the end of the day? Could just be a checklist, a saved email draft, a calendar block, a folder structure, a 3-step how-to document for your assistant. One great strategy is to have your assistant or someone, an intern or someone, shadow you and watch what you do with each task you do. Write down each step, maybe even capture screenshots and put it into a document, a Google Doc or a Word doc that you can share with people, and see if they can repeat what you've done. That is how you delegate and offload some of the repetitive tasks, by creating that SOP, that standard operating procedure document, so that it's there and shareable, so that someone else can take over those mundane, repeatable tasks. And that gets you back to your creativity, your genius, your focus on the things that really are the big rocks, the $10,000 an hour kinds of tasks that only you can do. But whatever it is, take a few minutes and build those systems. Build out that checklist or whatever. You will feel lighter and faster and clearer. And you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. So now let me know in the comments, what system are you building? I would love to hear how you're taking control of your time. And tomorrow, it's Wake Up Wednesday, where we'll explore how to move out of autopilot and back into intentional living with our systems in place. But today, just get that chaos under control. Develop a system or two. Multiply your time and build out the infrastructure. Your future self will thank you. You've got this. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.